everyone, welcome to our achievements by isolating. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the achievement Fill Photographer. You will need a selfie cam for this, so if you don't have that, check the links in this video, it will show you where to get it. So this achievement you'll find under Exploration, and then in that main page there is the achievement. It requires you to visit 43 different places and use your selfie cam in them. Now, because there's a lot of them, what I've done is I've created some maps for you, and then after the maps I go through them individually. So this is the first map. This is Kalimdor. Everything in white can be found in Kalimdor. This is exactly the same layout as the achievement, so if you're missing one, this will help you locate it. So Eastern Kingdom, again, this is the ones in white. The ones from Kalimdor, I've put a K next to them now, so if you do see it and go, well, I've missed it, that's where it was. Outland, everything in white, this is where you will find them. Northrend, again, white, this is where you will find them. On to Draenor, this is where you'll find those three. And then finally on to Pandaria for the final 4. So let's start with Kalimdor. There are 10 here if you are Horde, plus also Deathwing's Fall. So we'll start with the Moonglade one. Obviously it's in Moonglade, so I just sat on the roof at the top of Moonglade and that counted, so take your selfie there. Next one, Mount Hyjal, literally at the flight point where I landed for Nordrassil, and I took my image there with the selfie cam and that counted, so anywhere around there is good. Next one then, Orgrimmar. So if you're Horde, you'll need to do this. If you're Alliance, you won't. While here, if you're Horde, use your Portal of Elements and go down to do Deathwing's Fall. So it's in Deepholm. It's the only one you need those portals for, so you might as well do it at that point. Deathwing's Fall is right there, so I just sat on this bridge, took my photo, and that was that. Next is the Echo Isles. So this is off the edge of the sort of Orgrimmar area. I just sat on this beach here, took a photo with the background there, and that was good enough. So next up we are down to Onyxia's lair. You don't actually have to enter it, you just have to be standing on this slopey bit where the teeth are and take your selfie, and that will count. On to Caverns of Time. You don't need to enter the Caverns of Time. Again, just stand on these stairy, slopey bit, whatever you want to call it, take your photo, that will count. Halls of Origination. So this did not count. I had to go inside and take an image from inside to count. Then make your way to Ongoro. On the edge over here is where you will find the Shaper's Terrace. So again, I'm just standing on the step type things with that as my background. Now this one over in Syphilis, the actual area you need is this area in front of the gong, but it must be in the past time, so the gong must be there. So if that gong isn't there, it will not count. So make sure it is and then take your picture. Next off then, we're into Feralus. You want to make your way to this area at the top where there are 2 giant columns. This is the twin columns, and you just need to take a picture on one of them, and that counts. So on to the Eastern Kingdoms. So this one contains the 16 plus Deathwing's Fall and the Deep Run Tram. So obviously Stormwind, take a picture in Stormwind if you're Alliance. Also if you're Alliance, this is where you will find your throne that you need to go through to Deepholm, and that's where you do Deathwing's Fall. However, everybody will need the Deep Run Tram. So you can either go via Ironforge, or since I'm in Stormwind, might as well go through Stormwind's. You actually have to be in there, you can't take it from the outside, so literally go in, take a picture with the portal behind you, and it's done. So next, Westfall, we are heading towards the Dead Mines. Doesn't count on the outside, you're going to need to make your way all the way in to the instance. Once you're inside the instance, you can then just take an image of the portal behind you, and that counts. You don't have to do the instance. Still in Westfall, there is the Westfall Lighthouse. So this one is just on the edge over here, and again, just stand in front of it. You didn't have to do anything special. Take an image. Next up, we're on to the Gurubush Arena. So that one is down in the Cape of Stranglethorn, all the way down at the bottom, near Booty Bay, but you know, halfway down. Anyway, you have to actually be in the pit and be flagged for the PvP for it to work. So if you're not making that one work, that's why. So next to Booty Bay on this little island down here is Gennaro's Point. This is the island with the goblin with his arms out. Just stand anywhere on there, take your photo, and you are done. So then onto the Dark Portal. You're looking at the Blasted Lands, and mine is currently the Iron Horde Invasion. Not that I think it makes a difference, but just in case. Karazhan, you have to actually go inside. So make your way to Deadwind Pass and enter the raid entrance, not the dungeon entrance. Stand inside, you don't even have to go through the first door, and take your image. Next up then, Darkshire. So it is over here. I literally did it at the flight point, not in the town itself, and it still counts. So just take your image at the flight point and you're done. So Blackrock Mountain, again, you don't have to go inside. So I'm on the side of Searing Gorge, just on the slope up to Blackrock Mountain, and I took my image here and that worked. Onwards to the annoying one that's out in the sea. This is the Valdras, I don't even know how you say that. There are 2 flight points above ground, so you can just fly to one of those and take your image. Next up then, the Valley of the Kings. So this one is over here in Loch Moden. It's actually on the little bit before Loch Moden, just down here. I just sat on one of the statues and took my image, and that worked. Then we're on to Thandor Span. So this is the bridge that crosses between these 2 areas here. So just sit on the bridge and take your image. Works a treat. Next up then, we've got Ravenholt Manor, our little assassin friends. So up there, I just, again, stood on the path and took my image, and it counted. Uther's Tomb. So this is obviously over in the Western Plaguelands and just by the Alliance flight point, or the Chillwind flight point, and you'll be able to take your image there, and that counts. Hearthglen is up the top, what used to be a former Scarlet Monastery type fighting area, which used to be fun. Shame that's gone now. Again, image there and you're done. Light's Hope is obviously in this corner over at Eastern Plaguelands, and that will be your final one for the Eastern Kingdoms. So on to Outland then, we have 4 here. One of them is possible to do in Draenor instead. So the first one is obviously Shattrath, so as soon as you arrive, just take your image there. Next one, this is the Throne of Elements. It's over in Nagrand, but there is also one in Draenor, so you don't have to do this one if you can't be bothered. So take your image there. I just stood on top of one of the stones. So next, make your way over to Hellfire, and this is where you will find the Throne of Kil'jaeden. So just make your way there, anywhere in this little crater, take a picture, and you're done. Last one then for Outland is the Stormspire, which is all the way up in the Netherstorm area. You can fly there, there's a flight point, landed at the flight point, took the picture, and I was done with Outland. So moving on to Northrend then, there are 6 here, including the Frozen Throne. So Daggercap Bay is over here, so you want to make your way down to the Howling Ford, and then it's literally in that watery bay bit there. You don't have to be on the other side where the Alliance are, just on the side there will do. Next is Naxxramas, so you are going to have to enter this raid, so go to Dragonblight and then go inside. You don't have to do anything, just be inside, take the image, and you are done. Wormrest Temple, again, up Dragonblight, right in the center there. Just do it from the flight point, you don't have to go up to the top, it works fine from there. Next up then is Dalaran, so Dalaran, use this Dalaran, the Legion one doesn't count, so this is the one in Crystal Song. Take your image there, job done, you don't really need to do anything exciting, I did it at the flight point. So moving on then to Wintergrass, so this one obviously is in the Wintergrass Fortress. You don't have to be inside it, you just have to have it as a background. Don't have an image for the Frozen Throne because you don't really need it. On to Draenor, so there are 2 or 3 depending on whether you did the Outland Throne. Go to Talador and you want to be entering in for the Auchendone one. Without that one, you can't get it unless you enter the instance, so again, outside the instance. The Temple of Caribor, this one is in Shadowmoon Valley, right down the end. I sat on the very top of it and took an image, and that one counted for me. So on to our final area then, Pandaria. There are 4 here. So the first one is in the Vale of Eternal Blossom, literally anywhere, and you can see that my one was set to past. Whether that makes a difference, I don't know, but I was in the center and I took an image. Next one then, Neverest Mountain. So I actually sat on the pinnacle, so the very, very, very top, and took my image, and that counted, so you can do that too. Sun Song Farm is obviously at Hearth Hill. It's the farm that you created and did all your stuff with, so just stand down there and take an image. And finally, Turtle Beach. It's where the Wandering Festival happens. So just take your image there, and this was my final one, so this is where I got the ding. Ta-da! A field photographer. So that was a massive waste of my time for 5 points. But now it is done. I now have the title that I will never ever use. So I hope you found this video useful. As always, thanks for watching and subscribe to see what else I'm up to.